Thank you. That was way too nice. And you guys have the most abundant and incredible and kind leader. She is one of my favorites when I became RFX, and she was one of my first friends. And I latched on to her because I adore her authenticity. I mean, you guys are really, really, really lucky to have her. So congrats to you guys. Before I get into how we onboard and what we do with my team, I just want to give you a little bit of a background on myself, so you know a little bit about me. I live in Washington State, a couple hours east of Seattle. I am a mom of three. I have two girls and a little boy, 9, 7, and 5, and I have been in the business. Actually, my road anniversary is in 2 days. And my background, I spent close to a decade in public relations and marketing, mostly for Microsoft. And so I was approached about this business. I mean, I was a hard no for me. And then honestly, because I didn't know a lot about the business model, I, educated myself. I tried to find the fine print where I would get screwed in this. And what really drew me to this business was the brand. That was my background, the brand. This brand was not, trying to break in the market. They were a very established brand. So I jumped in, but you guys, I didn't do anything for 2 years. I'm serious. I had two consultants join me. One was my stepmother-in-law, because she felt bad for me. And the other one was, my husband's friend from high school, and it was in the first 2 months of business, and I got an email saying I had a customer cancellation, and I was like, oh my God, I'm already having people cancel, I suck. And little did I know she had joined me in the business. I was riddled with fear with what my corporate partners would think of me doing this. I put a lot of judgment on myself, and I decided not to talk about the business for 2 years. And I had a ton of PCs. I mean, it was a good, I wanted a housekeeper. It paid for that. And what is bizarre is that everything in life for me, I have gone all in. Sports, my career. And I was invited onto a training call, which was even more funnier because I don't even know why I got invited to this training call. I'm glad somebody saw some potential in me. And I got on the call with a new Lexus earner in my upline. And I thought that was pretty darn cool. And I will never forget that feeling, getting on the phone with her. And she asked me, why was I here? And I was horrified. It was dead silent on the phone. I had nothing to tell her. I had no reason. I didn't know why I was here. I didn't know. I had no direction. And she's like, that's okay. She goes, but we're not going to get back on the phone again until you know what that is. And she goes, and also I want you to reach out to 200 people in the next 2 weeks. And I was like, what? So that was it wasn't like I was off and running in RFX the next day. But that was a huge moment for me in this business that it really changed my life. I was like, why am I here? Why am I not all in? And so I started to, I did the 200 reach outs, which was incredible. I call it massive action on my team, and we try and do it every 2 months. It creates so much work because you always have to follow up. And so sometimes massive action is a 100 reach outs. Sometimes I'll do 200 reach outs, but it's just constant work, constant conversation, constant following up, and that is what started me going. And then I realized how, somebody actually reaching out to me in my upline noticed me. I was going to do that. I was going to be that type of leader. And so I started setting goals for myself. And I'll start going into my goal setting and onboarding, because from that moment I went to having a team of 2 to in 3 years having over 1,000. and we just exploded. And one of my biggest things with my team is that we really don't pay attention to corporate. I don't follow any sort of training from corporate. We keep things extremely simple, and it works for us. I mean, it is a 5-step process to onboarding that it is so easy to duplicate. It's not even funny. We are also always in constant contact with each other. So I set up, I didn't even know I was doing it when I started it, but I started to have this kind of accountability process through goal setting. And, it really makes sense. So when anybody joins our team, we ask them how much money they want to make. And that might sound a little blunt, but it's not, because it actually forces them to say out loud something that they want. And so it also kind of shows me what kind of pace we're going to be going at. So we ask them how much money they're going to make. And the goal setting piece always is, with my team, they make an overall goal for the year. And then at the first of every month, you make a goal for that month. So that monthly goal is directly connected to that yearly goal. And then every Sunday night, and the people that are direct to me, that are consistently sending me their Sunday night goals, are the ones that are growing. But they will send me their goals every Sunday night. And what this does is that it not only holds them accountable because they're saying it out loud, but it holds me accountable as their upline, their direct. So it could be, I get goals all the time that are like, I want to get 4 new PCs this week. I want to grow my team org by 5,000 this week. I have a chicken lister I want to talk to. And I make note of that, those goals every Sunday night. And I know who to check in with: Melissa, Carrie, whoever, like, how did that call go? How I see your team org is at this. And it really forces people to do the IPA every single day. So when you're chipping at things daily, weekly, monthly, you're going to hit that yearly goal. And it just starts to happen. So that is a big piece. That communication piece is huge for us. The weekly, monthly, yearly goals, and we start them right off the bat when they join our team, is asking them how much money they want to make. And then as far as the rest of our onboarding system, when you join, within the first week, we ask you to set your BLE, and we ask you to do a virtual. Just pulling up my notes here, everything. I don't want to miss anything for you guys. And usually we try to do the BLE in the first 7 to 10 days. Like, the biggest thing is they want to feel safe with you. They want to feel trusted, and you are going to, with us, it works. We hold their hands. We do. We ask them, and we don't ask them. We tell them in the first 7 to 10 days, this is what you're going to do. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do this, because we've, kind of tiptoed around, okay, when do you want to have your BLE and what works for you? You need to tell them what to do. You do. And guess what? People love to be led. They do. And they will feel safe, and they will trust you, and they will just be like, okay, I'll do that. And so right off the bat, right out of the gates, it's how much do you want to make, setting the BLE in the first 7 to 10 days. And then we also, honestly, we try to do 2 BLEs and then a virtual. Because the people that can't make the first one, we invite to the second one. Another big piece for us is I am huge on branding. That's my background. And I think it is so important when people join me, they don't try and be like me. They don't try to be like their upline. They need to be themselves. It needs to be their name on the front door of that business. And so I ask them to brand themselves. So I ask them what are 3 to 5 things that are you, that your family, your best friends would say, oh, yep, that's her. She loves long walks on the beach, wine, and running. And then we tell them, guess what? That's what you're going to post about all the time, consistently. And you're going to weave in RNF into that. But we want you to brand yourself. So when people see your posts, they're consistent about who you are. It's authentic, it's real, and you're showing that you do these things with RNF in your life. And so that branding is a huge piece for us. Another thing that we do is that I feel like a lot of people, when they get into this business, I feel like I'm talking a lot. So if you guys have questions or anything, just, oh, there's a chat here. Just let me know. A lot of people, when they get into this business, they do not expect to quote unquote lead. They don't, and they, they get in their own way saying, I'm not a good leader. I don't know what to do next. I don't know how many times I heard that. Getting started. I don't know. What do I do now? What do I do now? And I felt like there was so much noise from corporate, even to this day, that I was like, I have to make my own system. And so this part of the onboarding process is a checkoff list for the person that is enrolling somebody. So it's like, okay, in your first 7 days in this business, you're going to ask them how much money they want to make. You're going to set their BLE dates. You're going to brand them. You're going to have a call with the closest level 5 upline. And which, by the way, is super important because you're building trust and creating this safe place for them once they get on your team. Have them connect with another leader, somebody, or it doesn't always have to be a level 5 leader. It could be somebody that you think would be that would connect with them. Like if they're a teacher, maybe it's another teacher. If they're stay-at-home mom, maybe it's another stay-at-home mom. But getting them on a call with somebody else, most of the time it's upline, is super important. They just get to meet another face and they get to ask questions, and really connecting is huge for us. So it's called this coaching kickstart guide. And then lastly, we asked them to do 5 practice 3-way calls in their first month. And it's 1 call a week, and it's with their best friends, it's with a coworker, it's with family, whatever. But we want to get them used to hearing how it sounds, how natural it sounds to talk about this business. So I don't know if you guys got all that. That is our Kickstart guide, and everybody does it. It's 5 things that you do onboarding somebody every single month. And as Steph, I didn't actually mention this in Barcelona, but we also have a bingo board for the newbie. So, and the newbie bingo board is directly correlated to hitting 600 in your first month. And when they hit it, they get something from us, and it's totally up to the person that enrolled them, whether it's a gift card or whether we've been leaning more towards sampling because obviously that works. It's business building materials. But the bingo board, I was going to try and show you guys a picture, and they're super easy to make, and you can make them however you want, but it puts them into action, and people love checking things off a list. So this is, I don't know if you guys can see this. No. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So it says lash boost, sell 2 masks, sell a regimen, do 20 biz reach outs, $150 plus order, host an event, sell 2 eye creams, sell an active hydration, sell a micro paste. And again, we're strategic about it, that all of these things lead to them to success in right off the bat when they're enrolling. And it's been fun because my downline has done a lot of different things with their bingo boards when they onboard people, and it's really directed to their personalities. And so that has been a really, really fun and useful tool for us for our newbies, because they're like, okay, I need to sell this, I can do that. Okay, next thing, I want to get the lash boost off my list. I want to do this. I'm going to do my reach outs. And some of the bingo boards have BLE on here. When you do your BLE, you get to cross that off. So that's it, guys. That is my onboarding system. But I feel what really makes all of this work is that it goes back to the conversations that we are always in constant contact, and it comes back to that goal setting. And so I know where all of my directs are every Sunday night. I know what their goals are for the week. I know what their goals are for the month. I know what they're running for the year. And so there is so much collaboration within because of that conversation. Lot of all my level 5s, all my team, there's just so much cross collaboration, and I truly believe it goes back to this goal setting. And we are big on team culture. Team culture is everything. We celebrate everything. People want to be made felt good from having an event and nobody shows up. We throw up a picture, be like, this is what it's like. And way to go for putting yourself out there. So that constant recognition is huge. And I hope you guys do that, because honestly, it's just human nature to be want to felt that you're important and you're seen. And we do that. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Questions you guys have? When did you start implementing your onboarding system in your business?
So to be honest, I started after I enrolled my 4th consultant. I was like, and this is not throwing my direct upline under the bus. There was just not a lot of, there was no systems. And I didn't, when I joined, it was kind of like, welcome, here you go. And for me, I was like, I don't want people to feel like that. I want them to be told right away, this is how we do it. So I started goal setting right away. And the system just turned out to be, like I said, a huge accountability thing that I didn't even know was happening. And now it's like, it's just massive for our team, the communication. So yeah, does that kind of help?
Yeah. So after you've gotten all these recruits, you have this great onboarding system, but like, how did you get them all on board? Like, what's your recruiting secret?
Yes, Delane.
Oh,
recruiting. Because I need to brag on her again. So she recruited 24 people last year. 24.
Thanks.
So yes, that's huge. But tell us how you did that.
Honestly, I dig in. I every single day I dig in. I have my biggest thing is I don't use email or text anymore. I'm all about sending face messages and voice messages, and I do a ton of events. And the thing about this business is you got to create FOMO. And so whether I have nobody showing up at my events or whatever, I put it all over social media. I want people to feel like they are missing out on what I have going on. So it's whether I bragging on, I'll buy stuff. I'm like, look what I just bought for my team, and I post on social media, or look at what we're doing today, or look at, this gathering at my house. Look at this person that just joined my team. And even if it's not direct to me, like I blow up people like 5 generations down. Like, look, we just had an incredible esthetician, one of the top estheticians outside the Seattle area, joined last month. And I blew that up. I'm like, that's my team. This is who we attract. So it's constant. I tell my team, it's the act of FOMO. You need to make people want to be around you and want to be a part of what you have going on. So it's constant positivity. It's showing all the things. And I believe that we get bombarded every day by impersonal invites, people wanting you to join their MLMs. And what I feel like sets me apart is how I brand myself and how I authentically reach out. And that's what, there's no like secret. It is constant work, and it's branding, and it's creating FOMO.
Do you have any tips on ways to expand your network, to find new people to talk to?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We do lots of that. So as far as we have actually one of my top teams just did a referral event, and it was based on their existing customers inviting their friends to it. And I'm trying to remember exactly what she did. We did a big team one probably about 6 months ago, but hers was even cooler how she positioned it. From it, they got 28 new customers from the referral part of it. So they invited their 3 best customers, and those 3 best customers were incentivized to invite 5 of their friends. And if their 5 friends ordered, those customers got a discount on their next auto ship if they ordered. And they also got points for hosting an event, like the referral, if the referral hosted an event for their network. So it was literally just like spidering out just the referrals. And it created so much work for this team of mine. It was awesome. So that is a really, really, really good idea if you guys haven't done something like that. I had another team do an influencer event where they invited the top influencers in their network. That was also successful.
Other questions?
Yes.
I have a question. Sorry.
Go ahead, Sugie.
As far as motivating your downline, do you have any suggestions? I love the goal setting, asking them how they want, how much they want to make. But yeah, do you have any other ideas?
Yes. So something that has also worked for me is doing love language. So with my directs, I ask them all, what is their love language? Do you like money? Do you like me to blow up your social media? Do you like the finer things in life? And I reward. I probably do it too much, but honestly, it's me, and it makes them feel good, and it makes me feel really good. So I know clearly what every single one of my directs, how to communicate with them on what they love. And, from their goal setting, whether it's PSQV growth or, team org, I know what they love, and I make sure I'm honing in on that. It's awesome because I'm giving them exactly what they want. So if you haven't figured that out with your directs, I would definitely ask them what makes them tick as far as being rewarded.
Thank you.
Hey, Delane, you mentioned your anniversary is in 2 days. So
Yes.
how many years will it be? And then once you decided to really work the business, how long did it take you to go to RFX?
So I was in 2 years. I hit RFX in 2 years. I got my car in a year, and then RFX, the Premier Elite, and RFX in the same year. And if it was easy, guys, everybody would do it. I worked my butt off, and I still do today. This is a drug for me. I am fully addicted. I'm addicted to how it makes my team feel, and in turn, how it makes me feel. But I know, just from my background in public relations and branding and marketing and all that stuff, people just really want to feel part of something special. And I wanted to create a team that nobody would ever want to leave. So we do a lot of fun stuff all the time. The rewards, like I said, the love languages, they're getting what they want. I'm always doing, the RFX diet and fun stuff. If you hit 1,500 by the 15th, you get invited to a call with corporate. They're always running for milestones monthly. It is constantly engaging and active and supportive. We have not lost that through the hard times. And I actually think it's what carried us through. And to be honest, I didn't really let them think anything was going on. I didn't. I was like, we're good. Keep going. We're good. What's your goals this month? What are you shooting for? Yes, that sucks. It sucked for me too. But what do you got going on now? We just pushed through and just pretended that it wasn't hard. And so I believe that people just really want to feel connected to something and feel seen, and know, and through the goal setting and our onboarding system, we try and make it as simple and fun as possible. Oh, I hear a baby. Oh, so cute.
Lane, can you check the chat to see if anybody has questions on the chat?
Oh, yes.
Giving you love on it.
Chat. Love that. How long you been in? 6 years and 2 days. That's crazy. And you know what? It's also, I tell my team too, everybody's journey is different. And that's why, with our onboarding system, some people join our team just because they want to be part of a community. And so really figuring out what people want right in the beginning is super important, because some people are like, well, I just, I just want this for, you know, a shoe fund, or my job sucks. It really helps you gauge on how to be there for them.
That's a question. I want to
Oh, I
know.
hear something.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I would like to know if I were, 3 years into my business, I have a solid, I'm solid level 1, and I have a few other straggling consultants. If I wanted to go and implement what you just talked about with my own team, and I just want to start fresh today and start from the beginning, what would you say to how to do that? Do you start like a Facebook group? Do you text or call all of your consultants and say, hey, this is something I wanted to start fresh with today? Are you in? Like, what are some of your recommendations on that?
That is a great question. And congrats on being a solid level 1. Seriously. Because when I started getting, like when I had my first consultant that was consistently hitting, that was a big deal for me. It felt so good. I did not start a page. I started a Facebook Messenger thread, and that's how we first started communicating. I was very transparent with them, saying, I want to be a better leader for you. And you could say something like, I'm coming out of this leadership retreat on fire, and I want to be a better leader for you. And these are the things that are going to help us grow together. Starting off, do the love language. What makes you tick? I want to be able to reward you for running your business and growing your business. And then share with them onboarding systems. Say, we're going to keep this simple. It's not complicated. When you get, and a lot of time, you guys, when I'm recruiting people, I tell them exactly what my 5 steps are before they even sign up with me. Like, these are the 5 things that we're going to do. That's it. And if you just listen to what I have to say, you're going to do well. And so I honestly just coming from the heart, saying you're fresh off of this trip and you are, inspired more than ever to help your team grow, and that you guys can all link arms and do this together. I would have been honored if somebody did that for me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Delane, I have another question. So
Yes.
being that you have the marketing and public relations background, what channels of social media do you use the most and find to be the most effective? It seems to be like this big shift with Instagram, so I'm just curious your thoughts.
I use honestly my Instagram is just kind of a snapshot. I direct everybody to my stories. Sorry, my 5-year-old just walked in.
I found Sid's water bottle.
Oh, you found her water bottle? Wow. That is incredible. I'm so happy you found it. Good eyes. Okay, can you shut my door? Okay, no, shut the door. Okay, that didn't happen. Tim. Brooke, say hi. Nope, sorry, never mind. He's adorable. He has we took a trip to Tombstone, and he's all about cowboys and all of that right now. Social media. So I've trained on social media. That is a huge thing for me, right? Because of the branding piece. I believe that when you are posting, Instagram should be a snapshot of an overall subject, and then you tell the story in the stories. And so it is you could be swallowed whole planning stories and creating your image. And I don't want you to, but I also want you to embrace that, because that is, people are like a need it now type. That's how everything is going. And that's why stories are so important. So like this morning, I posted about our new chief information officer, Stephen D, I think his name is. And I posted a picture of him, but in my stories, when I get to it, I'm going to post about where he came from, Nike, his background, that kind of stuff. And so always in my post, you'll see check out my stories for more information. And I am a hawk. I watch who's watching me. If I'm not following them, I follow them. And the people and I'll check on their page, it takes a second. I'm like, okay. I will say, thanks for the love, or I will start strategically liking their stuff, commenting, and building a relationship right away. I take notes on who's following me. I take notes on who could be a possible business partner. I look at the influencers. I watch who's watching me like a hawk. It's kind of fun to watch the trends. And also with Instagram, I just have it connected to my Facebook. Facebook, I still use because, it's what I started my business on 6 years ago. And there's still plenty of people that look at it, but to be honest, the stories are where it's at. They are. And so making sure that you're not sharing, 10 pictures on Instagram, that you're saying, here's the picture, and then you tease them, say, check out my stories, and then you share the rest of them up there. It's going to direct people and you'll build a bigger following. But as far as aesthetics, I don't believe in aesthetics. And if you do it, that's totally great. If it works for you, that's great. For me, the filters and all of that, making it look aesthetically pleasing, that's not my personality. And so if I just all of a sudden started doing that, it wouldn't reflect my brand or who I am. So if you're already doing that, stick with it. But for me, I don't think that starting to do that now is going to necessarily dramatically change your business. I think just being true to yourself, finding those 3 to 5 things that brand yourself, and being consistent with posting about those things and telling your team to do the same is huge. Looks like I have a question.
So what's your Instagram handle so we can all follow you?
Oh, pressure's on. It's at Delane Johnson.
Okay.
And I have a question. When you say stories and you share more information off of the picture you're posting, are you talking about the story that expires in 24 hours or adding things to your highlight reel that stay there, or both?
So I do, it's stories. And my highlight reel, I need to be better about. But I do have a highlight reel with RNF trips, before and afters, things that, background, who am I, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't feel like people look at those as much, but really building up that FOMO with that initial post on Instagram saying, oh, like I did a mask the other night with my sister, and I was like, oh, the sisters that mask together stay together. I'm like, check out our outtakes in my stories, the silly pictures it took to get the one good one. And really creating that interaction, like, what mask are you interested in? And it doesn't even have to be RNF related. It could be something funny, like, what is your favorite summer activity? But you've got to create that interaction. And because people love to just click and be like yes or no, or with surveys and that kind of stuff in your stories. And there's lots of great basic YouTube tutorials if you need a basic overview on how to do an IG story. But I highly suggest that if you're not doing that yet, that you do it, because that is the way the business is going. It's getting quicker and faster, and people just want to see more live action. They want to see you interacting. They want to see you talking. They want to see what's going on in your life. They want to relate to you. So that clicking option just to check out people's stories, that's why it is the top source, like top medium right now in social media is the story feature.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
I think there's a.
I have just one. Do you do a lot of, is your Instagram account all just those branded things, or do you have like personal stuff on there?
She has personal. She posted a snake crawling across the ground.
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I do. I know I've gone through this with my team as well on what they feel comfortable with. You have to do what you feel comfortable with. I've always been an open person. I mean, just with everything. Our life is complete chaos this summer. Almost everybody that follows me on social media knows we are displaced, homeless, can't move into our house. My husband's going through cancer stuff. Like, we are full on transparent. But if I see that as being able to connect with people, if someone can relate, if I can help them through RNF, if I can help them be a friend, if I can help them, through the cancer world, like that is, I feel like, my purpose. And RNF has given me that, it's the catalyst. It's allowed me to do all that. So I am very transparent. But again, I have to disclaim, you have to do what makes you feel comfortable. But I do feel, honestly, in this world, and especially stories, people are they're just looking to connect with you. They're curious what you're up to. If they're looking at your stories, they want to know what's going on in your life. So it can't just be products before and afters. Like, it just can't. You've got to put in there the spilt milk, the ups and downs of life, because it can't always be a highlight reel and just products in people's faces. It's got to be well-rounded. And that's why I really ask, that's why the 3 to 5 things that are passionate to you, that define you, you stick to when you're posting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I'm proud of you. So thank you so much.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all the women in that room. It's
Thank
the
you.
best feeling in the world to be able to link arms together and grow together. And it makes me so happy to see all of you there. Congratulations, you guys are doing it right. And Stephanie, I'm excited to see you in Nashville. And if you guys see me in Nashville, come up and say hi. I would love to meet you.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have
Okay,
the best
chat
weekend,
soon.
you guys.
Bye.
Have a great month.
Thank you.
Bye.
Before Heidi comes,